The biggest misconception about goals. Goals motivate, goals keep you on track, goals can help you measure your performance. But there's a big misconception about goals, as many people think that the single purpose of goals is reaching them. The true art behind setting goals is not reaching them by any means, but dealing with the difference between your wanted outcome and the real outcome to be able to learn something from these goals. By taking a look back and considering the factors that decided whether you reach the goal or not, you will be able to learn to set yourself more realistic goals and to adjust your performance better. This is the key of mastering setting goals. Understanding why you didn't reach them to adjust either your goals or your behavior so you can reach more goals in the future. Before diving into tips for setting yourself goals in League of Legends, here's an example of what we mean. You set yourself the goal to get 200 CS in 20 minutes for your next game. You end up with 150 CS. You either get frustrated and feel bad about not reaching the goal, or you take a look at why you didn't reach it. Suddenly you realize that you wasted too much time buying items and missed some important CS under your tower. And boom, you now got two things where you can improve, and after improving, can try to reach this goal again.
The use of smaller support goals for your long-term goals. Long-term goals are great. Setting yourself a ranked goal for the season is not only providing you a sense of direction, but it's also a tool for motivation to keep yourself on track. The problem is, the season is almost a year long, and your goal may not only seem too far away from you, but also maybe a bit too unrealistic. To prevent this, you can design smaller support goals for your long-term goals. These goals could either be for every single ranked split or even for every single month of playing ranked. By doing so, you can adjust your monthly goals to what is happening in your life, and if life gets in the way of your rank climb, you can adjust your goal for that specific month. Also, use smaller goals to keep track of your long-term progress. Another great effect of smaller goals that are aligned to your long-term goals is that they give you a sense of progression and create room for adjustment. If a jungle main that never played any kind of lane now says that he wants to switch to ADC and that he wants to be able to get 100 CS in 10 minutes every single game in 2 months, his only sense of progression will be whether he reached his goal of 100 CS or not. A way better approach would be to still have the goal of 100 CS in 10 minutes in 2 months, but also design smaller goals that help that person track his progress. You could divide 2 months into 8 weeks and design goals for every single of the 8 weeks. This doesn't only help with progression, but also helps that person adjust his own goal or own behavior, as the actual numbers could differ from those he anticipated. Then that person has to make a decision. Did he have an unrealistic goal and needs to adjust it? Or does he need to practice harder and more efficient to keep up with his goals?
Setting small goals every single game. Every one of us has things he could improve at. After realizing when and where our performance is lacking, we can use small goals to help us improve. For example, you look at the post-match stats and see that your vision score is bad. You search for factors that could influence this at the specific game, but ultimately accept that you need to improve and buy more pink wards. So you set yourself a goal for the next game. Buy 3 pink wards. You hop into the next game, have this goal in mind and buy more pink wards. After some games, this new behavior becomes part of your entire playstyle and you get better at the game. As always, there are some mistakes you can make when setting yourself smaller goals. First, don't focus on too many things at once. If you make a whole list of things you are bad at and try to solve them all in one game by setting small goals for every single one of them, you will probably end up improving at none of them. Instead, focus on one thing at a time until you have a feeling that you've improved at that specific thing. Second, don't try to force reaching the goal too hard. If your goal is getting 10 kills and you're at 9 and could get 10 by flashing inside the Baron Pit versus 5 enemies to maybe assassinate the support, you may end up reaching your goal of 10 kills, but you will lose the game. Again, goals are meant to measure your performance and keep track of your improvement. Instead of reaching your goals at any cost and not learning anything, you should rather learn from not reaching them.
So if you already have one area where you could improve on in mind, set yourself a goal for the next game and make sure it's measurable and realistic. Also, as the new season is not that far ahead, you could already take a look into the future and think about your personal goal for the next season. If you happen to find any of this useful and want to see more, give us a suggestion in the comments about a gaming related topic that you want us to cover in our videos. Thanks.